This is Antigua, Guatemala's oldest and first capital. This city is indeed a treasure chest of history and culture and is said to be the home of the very first and oldest apartment building in all of Central America. In today's video, we'll be taking you to 3 sites that you must see on your next trip to Antigua. Today we're actually going to be exploring Guatemala's first capital, which is Antigua Guatemala. But this is not like the trip that we just recently came back from. That trip was epically crazy. We traveled for 3 hours by Uber, shuttle, and by boat to see the most beautiful lake that there is in Latin America, in my opinion. And it's actually the deepest lake in Latin America, which was Lake Atitlan, and it was worth every moment of it. But today we're doing a city kind of vlog. So I'm excited to see what Antigua Guatemala has to offer, and we'll be making some really epic stops along the way. So let's go take on this hour-long journey, but in the end it will be worth it. If you're wondering how to get to Antigua in the first place, it is very easy. We took an hour-long Uber ride from Guatemala City to Antigua for only $35. So the thing about Guatemala City is that you have to get up early to do what you want to get done because it is the rain season right now. And by 12 o'clock it starts raining, so we are up earlier than normal just to get this done. Finally made it to Antigua, and we are in their version of Central Park. Yeah. It's not necessarily Central Park like New York, but this is the center of Old Town Antigua, and it is absolutely beautiful here. There is a church to my, is that my left or
That's
my
your
right?
left. That's your
my left. There's a church to my left and a really nice looking building directly in front of us, and then there's also a fountain behind us. So I don't know, this actually, we read that this is called the City of Ruins because this city has been through a lot, and by a lot, when I say a lot, I actually mean a lot. For example, there was first an uprising by the native people here that resulted in a lot of people fleeing this place, and then it was kind of left abandoned. Then there was a volcano that erupted. Yep. And then people also fled after they came to re-inhabit the place, and then the volcano came, they fled. And then after the volcano came, an earthquake happened and people actually left again. And another earthquake happened after that. It's just crazy. It's crazy that we're able to come here and see this beautiful city because it almost did not survive all this catastrophic events that happened here, which is just crazy. And it's completely beautiful, so it was worth the 1 hour ride, right? Oh, absolutely. So we very much like to compare places that we've been to other places that we've been to. And let's see if me and Simus are on the same page. Where does this remind you of that we've been to? Probably the cobblestone streets are definitely Puerto Vallarta. Okay. In Mexico. Less recent than that. But the city reminds me of San Juan. Exactly. Old Town San Juan in Puerto Rico. San Juan in Puerto Rico. It's just so reminiscent of Old Town San Juan. You know why though? Because Spanish colonialism? Yeah, because it's like a very preserved Spanish colonial town, and that's exactly what Old San Juan was as well. Yep. They're selling one of my favorite fruits, papayas. Can I get one? Yes, you can get one. Okay. Oh, they have pineapples for you. Hola. Hola. Natural. ¿Cuántas? 10. ¿10? 10 quetzales. Natural. You want that one or no? ¿Cuántas piña? 10. ¿10 también? Natural. Todo es 10, ¿eh? Todo es 10. Precio especial para ustedes.
Y de primera calidad.
Bienvenido.
¿Es el precio local o turista?
Ah, no, local.
¿Local? Sí, oye.
Local. Precio especial para ustedes, que son unas personas jóvenes y felices de la vida.
No somos tan jóvenes, yo soy viejo.
No, viejo, ni
Sí.
yo soy viejo. ¿Cuántos años crees que tengo?
No sé.
56. ¿No?
¿Tú? 82 años.
¿82?
Años.
¿En serio?
En serio, patojo.
82.
Pero gracias,
¿De verdad?
de veras, pero gracias a la bendita, a nuestro Señor y a la bendita fruta.
Believe him.
82, ¿en
Tú
serio?
comes en lo que tú eres.
Wow.
Así es que ahorita ustedes son niñitos, están empezando a crecer.
Sí.
Pero siempre gracias a nuestro Señor. Hay que comer sano. Mira, papaya, calidad para la flora intestinal. Mira, piña, calidad para los cálculos. Así es que ustedes van a llegar a unos 150 años. Muy bien.
I think he can sell me anything, anytime.
Do you speak English?
Yes.
Ahí está. Nosotros speak cachiquel.
Cachiquel.
Oh, del grupo Maya, sí.
Cabal.
Wow.
Puro maya.
Puro Maya.
Yeah, I want to make a promise from now on that this will not turn into a food vlog.
Every time it doesn't turn into a food vlog, and every time we're eating
It
stuff
will
off the
not.
street, you are greedy.
It will not turn into a food vlog, I promise you that. But when a girl sees papaya, a girl just has to have papayas because I love them. They're so good and they're so good for you. And this guy is obsessed with piña or pineapple, so it's a win-win. And we met some really nice guys too.
Yeah.
So
So all I gotta say is that this park is so live and there's so much culture and history literally just surrounding this. It's called Parque Central. There's vendors, police, there's people that are literally just like hanging out and enjoying the place. There's tourists, pigeons, you name it is here, and you could definitely feel the energy and the old spirit of the city.
okay, so for us, it is pretty early in the morning and we would not be up if we weren't coming here. But it's crazy to see how much life there is in this park already, right?
I was just saying that it's crazy because you feel so much energy here and there's literally everything happening in one little square. And this park is deservedly named Central Park because everything is here.
And it's crazy, the moment you step out of the park is a total different vibe. So we're heading over to the Central Market and I know it's gonna be a different vibe over there too. So let's get going to that Central Market and maybe we'll buy some stuff because we heard that stuff is super affordable over there. So we're gonna see what we can get.
So on the way to the market, we've come across kind of an unbelievable establishment here in Antigua, and that is Taco Bell. I did not expect to see a Taco Bell in Latin America, especially since we're literally this close to Mexico, the home of tacos. And I know we could get better ones on the street, but for some reason Taco Bells are everywhere in Guatemala.
Never thought I'd see the day.
Maybe they're good here, who knows?
Actually, that's true. We're not trying it though.
No, we're going to the market.
It's okay.
Let's go.
Let's go. So we thought that this would be an easy walk to the market. You know, our sensory organs are so activated here. Like there's so much movement, there's so much to see. Everything looks colorful and exciting, and you just have to be stopping to look at everything every single time. But it is definitely worth the visit. If you're in Guatemala, definitely come to Antigua because you will be surprised and taken aback by how beautiful this city is and also how much is going on all the time. Like I said, we came upon something that is also very interesting. Sadly, we don't know what it's called, but I think we can find out by going in there. I think it is ruins because the back part looks like it's not intact, but just look at that. That is just insane. And I'm glad I'm wearing my hat today because it's kind of hot up
because I actually read about this church online. I just didn't realize it was this close. It's like ancient ruins of this church here, Iglesia y Colegio de la Compañía de Jesús. And basically these guys are a lot of the angels that you will see up there on the church as well. I'm not going to go through all of them because the church is not in the best shape, but it still looks absolutely magnificent just looking at it. Yeah, I think we're gonna probably keep stopping for different parts and until we get to the market. But this is definitely worth a shot.
The market, and I thought back there was busy, but over here it's even busier.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go inside this market.
Oh, they have tuk-tuks.
And see what all the hype is about. So far, it is way more organized than I thought it would be, right?
Yeah, it's
I think
like,
this is just a piece of the market.
One thing I must say is they are keeping everything very clean. There's literally no bad smells, at least not out here.
Yeah.
And oh, I think this is the entrance. Oh no, this is
a fruit stand.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a very neat and organized market, but I only see clothes and souvenirs and like random plastic things so far.
Yeah, we heard that you can get car parts here. And
oh, there it is. This must be it. Everything else. So the tunnels of the market are here.
Oh, so we entered the real market.
It's so calm. One thing I must say is that this market is not really made for people my size. I'm not that tall, but wow, people here are definitely a lot shorter than me, and I have to keep dipping and bending under every single thing here. So, yeah.
Oh, look who it is! He looks so cute. I'm literally not a cat person, but that was the cutest cat I've ever seen.
That's the first time I've ever heard you say anything like that.
I'm sorry, Esmeralda. Sivis's mom is definitely afraid of cats, so I feel like I'm betraying her right now. This market is literally like a treasure trove of stuff that we've never encountered before. It's just so vast and like so many things all in one place.
I'm just impressed with how clean and organized everything is.
Yeah. And it smells very good in here.
And it's calm. Jamaica?
Jamaica?
Yeah. Ah, es medicina.
Wow.
¿Qué
What is this one?
¿Esas son dulces?
Sí, pero son algo picantes.
Picante.
Do you want that?
No.
No, no picante?
No, quiero algo dulce.
Dulce,
Sí.
los gusanillos, lengua. Así como este tiene sabor a manzana verde.
¿Manzana verde?
Son ácidas, sí.
Sí, quiero este.
Vale.
¿Cuántos?
5 quetzales.
¿Cinco?
Yeah, when we were in Mexico, they told us that if you are compared to a mango as a woman, it's like one of the greatest compliments ever. So that's how good mangoes are to Mexicans. But
I wonder if it's the same in this part of the world.
Yeah. Oh, we should get this one too.
I think you
Oh,
don't
I
even
think I
know.
know what it is.
What is it?
It's called,
Manzanita.
I don't remember, but I saw a guy making something out of it on Instagram.
Okay, as fun as this market is, we actually have to make our way out of the market, which is easier said than done because I'm not really sure if we're going the right direction. But
Yeah.
I mean, eventually, if you keep walking straight, you're gonna get somewhere, right? Isn't that the rule of survival?
Sure.
Walk till you get out. No, I'm playing.
Head north. Yay, we made it out of the, what is that called again?
The market.
The market. We were in there for so long, we forgot what it was called.
Oh, there it is. I see daylight again.
So the next stop is Santa Catalina Arch, which is a pretty interesting place in this city. But right now it's being used as an Instagram hotspot because of how beautiful the arch is. But when we get there, we're gonna tell you the little history behind the arch because I think it's pretty cool and interesting. That you can see behind me is actually the Santa Catalina Arch, and today it is kind of like an Instagram hotspot. But in the 1600s, this arch was built because there was nuns that lived on one side of the arch and they taught at a school on the other side of the arch, and these nuns would travel through the arch because there's a footpath inside the arch to get to school that they taught. But they would use this footpath because they actually took vows of exclusion. So they wanted to be excluded from society. And in order to not be seen by the regular folk like me and you, they would use that arch. Also, the fact that the arch was not destroyed by the earthquake is a really good sign of resilience of the city, and that's actually what they kind of signifies in the city as well. We are about to walk through this arch.
Wait, we have to hold hands.
And our oh yeah, we have to hold hands. And our lives are about to change forever. No, nothing's gonna happen. But it's pretty cool to be able to walk through a piece of history that's actually still around and survive an earthquake like the one that it did. Also, it is almost impossible to get a picture here because everybody is taking selfies, and also it is still very much a pedestrian, not pedestrian only, but there are tuk-tuks. See, we're dying right now.
I don't know where he's going.
There are tuk-tuks and cars that still come
right
through
there?
this arch. Yeah.
Next stop is the goal and the reason why we came to this city, which is the Capuchin Convent. And this is
The oldest apartment building in Latin America, allegedly.
Allegedly. So we're gonna go see it for ourselves. I don't think it's inhabited anymore, but this building has been around since the 16th century, since the Spanish colonial times, and it's been destroyed by the earthquakes. And we're gonna go see what it looks like. So it's pretty interesting, I think.
So my husband is very cheap and he did not want to pay the money to come in here because, you know, he's cheap.
It's 80 quetzales to enter for 2 people, for foreigners.
When we stepped in here, we were totally awestruck. Like, it looks amazingly preserved as if people still live here, but it's not inhabited anymore.
Yeah. Wow.
Fortunately, we cannot fly a drone to show you how beautiful this property is, so we're gonna have to do the best we can with our camera and our GoPro. But it just feels so peaceful in here too, right?
You know, it looks like we did a lot of research on cultures in Spain and like kind of how it was influenced by North Africa from Morocco. And there's a building structure called a riad,
Yeah.
and it looks very similar to a
To a
riad,
riad.
which I think the Spanish brought over here. So it's actually really beautiful to see in
Yeah.
such a faraway place.
So interesting. I'm glad that you paid those 40 quetzales each. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I just read a little bit of history. Basically, it was pre-selected by the King of Spain, Felipe V, to actually construct it here because there was a need for a convent in what was then called Santiago, now Antigua Guatemala, to build a convent for women that did not have money, so they didn't have to pay a dowry to enter, but they wanted to live a religious life. And basically, this building had 18 what is called cells, literally like prison cells for them to live in. And not all of them were equal. Some of them were smaller, some of them were larger, so not everybody was living the same exact life here. And originally this building actually covered the entire city block, which is now it's slightly less than that. So there were 5 nuns that traveled here from Madrid and settled here, and it took them almost a year of traveling to actually make it from Madrid here to Antigua Guatemala. And then the convent basically was started that way. It was the last convent built here in formerly known as Santiago. And what ended up happening, actually, an earthquake hit here in the late 18th century, and the convent was basically abandoned until it was sold, and now it's kind of used as like a museum. So a lot of it was restored. Mostly this building is made of stone, but parts of it are now reinforced by steel. But it does not take away from the beauty of this place. So we're gonna go and explore it and actually check out what was basically the oldest, technically apartment building in Latin America. So we came here to what is allegedly the oldest apartment building in the Americas, and this was not expected. These are actually the apartments. These are the cells that the Capuchin nuns actually lived in, and I didn't expect it to look like this. What about you?
It's insane. I went into 2 of them and I realized that it is true, they were of different sizes. The one I just came out of was very large. It had like places to rest things down. The other one was literally just a cell. But one thing I must add is that they do look like apartments in New York City.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't say much. So I want to enter one of them. I'm going to pick this random one here. Let's call this apartment 12.
No, this.
Oh man. So I am officially in somebody's apartment. And the apartment is from this wall here to this wall here. It's literally like, if I lay down here, I'm not sure if I could really fit. Yeah, this is it. This is the entire apartment. Wait, I can almost stretch from side to side and touch.
Yeah, I don't know how people could just live in a little space like this, but that's what they wanted though.
Yeah, so this was actually meant, this is done on purpose because they're supposed to live a life of poverty and suffering, and this was actually the lifestyle that these women chose. And I imagine it was pretty difficult to live like this.
At least they had a window.
True. And a nice view.
And a nice view of the garden. So this apartment was set up differently. Go.
This is not an apartment.
This is an apartment. This is the oldest apartment building in Latin America.
Oh man.
Yeah, but this one is bigger than the other one, right?
Well, it has quite tall ceilings, I must say. But
Right? High ceilings.
I take living on the other side any
How
day.
much you think this would go for in Manhattan?
This is, you know, a nice studio with a shared bathroom and a beautiful view with ancient structures and, you know, like a little bit of a 18th century facade. I would say probably if it's like near Midtown somewhere, like around 34th Street, I would say a nice like $2,500 for the studio. Yeah, a month.
Or for sale, at least $1 million.
Oh yeah, easy $1 million.
Yeah. And this is where she would rest her stuff down. There's also another little space here.
Yeah, it's like a shelf for like books and like candles and stuff probably.
And then here there's also another situation going on.
This could have been some worshipping thing that was here, like an idol or something, and then the bed was probably like right here somewhere. That's it. That was the life. All right, that is it for the oldest apartment building in the Americas. That was actually a very, very incredible piece of history that we walked through. And I really do appreciate the fact that we got a chance to experience it, because I didn't even know things like this existed here in Guatemala. And look at this. It's like we walked through a mix of like Spanish and colonial and indigenous history here. So anyway, the next stop is we're actually gonna go and grab some crepes because we needed a little lunch break. And we'll see if we can squeeze in one more little spot before we head back to Guatemala City. So we'll catch you guys at the crepe spot.
So the last place that we're venturing off to today is actually right in front of us. It's called the Hill of Crosses, and it has a nice overview or a lookout of the city. We're gonna try to take a tuk-tuk up there, but I don't see any empty ones for now. But I'm excited to jump on a tuk-tuk because why not? Why not? So said, so done. So every time around midday or like after 1 or so, it pours here in Guatemala City. Because we apparently came here during the rainy season. We kind of knew, but we came anyways because it was cheaper. But the weatherman said it would rain, and it is completely pouring right now. So we're gonna skip the Hill of Crosses today, and we're gonna go straight to get something to eat and go right back to Guatemala City. But note to self, if it says it's going to rain in Guatemala City or anywhere in Guatemala for that fact, it's gonna rain. Right, Simon?
Oh, yeah. And
it's always around this time.
It's never at night, and it's always in the daytime.
It's crazy.
We either eat here or we eat here. We have no other choice.
Yeah, the rain in Guatemala is not a joke. If they're saying it's gonna rain, best believe it's gonna rain. The food is finally here and we're about to dig in. We are not food bloggers, but we love to eat. And whenever there's food in front of us, we just cannot concentrate.
We cannot eat and talk at the same time. That's how bad it is, all right? So when we are greedy and just like looking at food like I am right now, I'm like salivating and waiting for the camera to be turned off so I can dig in.
but before we go, look, this is what what's going on underneath my feet. Because I'm vegetarian now. Right, Simon?
Lies.
Okay, girl. Best Mark Wayne's.
Oh yeah.
And just like that, just how the rain started, the rain ended, and it's completely empty out because everybody ran to get cover from the rain.
It's hot out now again, just
It's
like it
hot.
never rained.
The sun is like beaming down on us, but that's kind of the end of this part of our Antigua tour. We definitely had fun, and we would come back here.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For
I would.
sure.
I feel like we didn't even scratch the surface of how vast the city is and how many like historical important things we've missed out on.
Yeah, but I think for a first time, like getting our feet wet here, it's definitely a very special place.